you have a preference?
All right, Jackson, thanks for coming in. We'll open the floor for questions. Start in the second row there, toward the center.
Just wondering, you got a taste of the playoffs yesterday, and just from your perspective, what's the difference in playing in the postseason versus a regular season game? Is there a different feel to it, or how much of a difference did you notice?
En tu opinión, ¿qué es la diferencia entre jugar un juego de playoff entre uno de la temporada?
No, yo creo que la adrenalina se vive, no sé, yo creo que la misma adrenalina hace que le ponga como que un poquito más emoción y me entregue más al juego.
I think it's the adrenaline is the difference there. That adrenaline just brings a little bit more energy, and I think it brings out a little bit more of the emotions there in a playoff game.
Third row to the left.
Jackson down 1-0. What would you describe as the mood in the clubhouse today?
Ahora que estamos abajo 1-0 en la serie, ¿cómo tú puedes describir cómo estamos en el club ahora mismo?
No, la verdad que yo creo que vamos a estar con mucho más emoción, más entusiasmo, ya que tenemos que ganar, tenemos que salir a ganar, ¿sabes? La misma misión de ayer, solamente que esperemos que hoy salgan todos los batazos y las cosas.
No, I think we're going to be excited there, within the clubhouse. We know that we have to come out here today and come out here to win. And so, I think we're going to be ready and focused on doing just that today.
Second row to the right, Adam.
Jackson, the team did not have any long losing streaks this year and clinched the postseason pretty early, the first team to clinch the postseason. Has there been anything this year that this team experienced like it will experience tonight where you have to win or the season ends?
Nosotros no tuvimos ninguna serie de juegos que perdimos por mucho tiempo y tuvimos el primer equipo para clasificar. Hay una experiencia como esto para nosotros que nosotros no han pasado. Como obviamente esto va a ser la primera vez que estamos con la espalda contra la pared. ¿Cómo tú puedes describir eso para nosotros?
No, la verdad que yo la verdad confío plenamente en todos los jugadores, y sé que vamos a dar un bonito juego y lo que nos vamos a seguir entregando para buscar ganar.
Yeah, definitely. I think I have a lot of trust in everyone in that room, and I think we're going to have a good game today. I think it's going to be a beautiful game out there, and we're all in it with the same mentality that we're in it to win tonight.
Go third row in the center.
Jackson, we've talked a lot about the season that you've had from the beginning to the end. Who are the guys that you want to point out that have really helped you along the way, along with players, coaches, whomever may be, to get you to this point?
Nosotros hemos hablado mucho de la temporada tuya desde el principio hasta ahora. ¿Quiénes son algunas personas, puede ser peloteros o coaches también, que te han ayudado mucho en esta temporada?
Bueno, la verdad que William Adames ha sido muy importante, William Contreras, la verdad, y corredor, tú, la verdad que hay muchos que me han brindado ese apoyo y la verdad que me siento súper agradecido.
Yeah, Willie Adames is a very important name to mention. As long as William Contreras, Nestor Corredor, myself, there's just been many people along the way that have been able to give me support and been able to help me throughout the season.
We'll go back to Adam, second row.
Jackson, the guys always laugh when you predict you're going to hit a homer or do something. When did you start doing that?
Los muchachos siempre se ríen cuando tú dices que tú vas a sacar un jonrón o algo. ¿Cuándo tú empezaste a hacer eso?
Yo creo que eso yo lo empecé a hacer como, no sé, después de como los últimos 2 meses creo que fue, yo empecé a hacer cosas así.
No, I think it's probably been about the last 2 months that I started to maybe do that a little bit.
Go far right, second row.
Jackson, I know there's still games yet to be played, but when you look back on the entirety of the season, is there 1 or 2 things that really stand out to you as far as what you did on the field and what you experienced?
Obviamente queda juego para jugar, pero hay alguna cosa que, mirando la temporada entero, hay alguna cosa específica que son importantes para ti de esta temporada.
Como
Cualquier cosa, algunos momentos o cosas que han pasado.
No, la verdad que todos los momentos que yo he vivido este año la que han sido súper especiales, ya que he tenido como mis momentos buenos y mis momentos malos, donde los malos sé que tengo que aprender para no volver a cometer esos errores y nada, súper contento por el gran año que he tenido.
No, I think truthfully, all the moments that we've gone through this year have been special. You know, there's been some good moments that have come about, and there have been some bad ones. And I think the bad ones that came are more learning experiences than anything. You know, I just want to learn from them, so you know, don't commit the same errors or mistakes maybe that I've made previously again. And so, you know, really just take everything. You know, appreciative for everything that's happened throughout the year.
Go fourth row toward the right.
Jackson, facing Sean Manaea again for the second time in about a week or so. He had probably his worst start in quite some time. What can you take away from that, and how do you build on that start today facing them again?
Viendo a Manaya por lesionado en una semana. La última vez que él tiró aquí era el peor salida de él en mucho tiempo. Como nosotros podemos seguir así y el plan de hoy con eso.
No, la verdad que hay que salir a ganar, ¿sabes? Cada uno tiene que poner de su parte, ya que si está con una base por bola o algo, emocionar a todo el mundo y nada, que va a ser el mismo juego.
Yeah, it's going to be the same game. You know, we're going out there to win tonight, and everyone's just got to do their part. You know, whether that be a base on balls, a hit, you know, whatever it takes. It's just going to take everyone doing their part.
We'll go to the second row toward the center.
You've played pretty much all over the outfield this year, learned some new positions. Just what's your comfort level at each of those outfield positions now? And do you feel still feel most comfortable at one position versus the others?
Tú has jugado en todas las posiciones ahí en el outfield. ¿Qué tan cómodo tú eres en los tres? ¿Y hay alguno de los tres que tú estás más cómodo de otro?
No, pero la verdad que he agarrado mucha confianza ya en el left. Al principio sí me sentía un poco incómodo, pero ya últimamente me he sentido mucho mejor a medida que van pasando los juegos.
Yeah, I feel very confident out there in left field. You know, it was a little bit of trouble there at first, you know, getting used to it. But the more that I've been out there, I've gotten extremely comfortable with it and have a lot of confidence playing left field now.
Third row to the left.
Jackson, when you look at your season so far, do you have a favorite moment or favorite play? And also, who's been the toughest pitcher that you've faced?
¿Tú tienes un momento favorito del año que tú has tenido? Y también, ¿quién es el pitcher más difícil que tú has enfrentado este año?
Yo creo que mi momento favorito fue cuando el triple que ganamos.
Aquí en casa.
Sí, ¿te acuerdas?
Sí.
Ese fue mi momento favorito y el pitcher más difícil, no lo sé, no lo he pensado.
I think my favorite moment for the year was the triple that I hit in the game that we won here late in season, leading off the triple there and going on to win. And then, no, I don't think I've put too much thought into who the hardest pitcher is that I've had to face this year.
Anything else for Jackson? We'll go all the way to the top on the left.
Jackson, there's a chance this is the last week of Willy Adames in a Brewers uniform. You mentioned him earlier as somebody really important to you. How do you describe him when people ask, what is Willy Adames like? And can you even speak more to like what he has meant to this clubhouse, just as a personality and a player?
Hay chance que esta es la última semana de Willy Adames en el uniforme de nosotros de los Brewers. ¿Cómo tú puedes describir a alguno que pregunta quién es Willy Adames? En tus palabras, cómo tú lo puedes describir y también qué él significa para nosotros en nuestro clubhouse.
No, la verdad que lo puedo decir como una persona alegre, una persona que juega para ganar, una persona que apoya a los demás, un buen compañero y la verdad que es un buen amigo.
You know, I think the way to describe Willy Adames is he's a very happy person. He's a person that shows up every day to win. He's a good teammate, and he's someone that's always there to support you. And fortunately, I'm able to call him a good friend of mine.
Anything final? All right, we'll let you get back to work. Thank you very much. All right, 230 Murph is in, and on the Mets side, 250 Carlos Mendoza, 305 Francisco Alvarez.
All
wasn't the pizza place, was it?
No, we went to a place called Eats Mania, which is play whatever you want for as long as you
All
want.
right. Oh, that's right. Was it on? You remember? Was it on Odana Road? Yeah, Odana. I forgot about that. The boys and I did. It's right at the divorce. Had a lot of stuff.
That's it.
Odana. Yeah.
So our hotel is right by it.
Oh, yeah.
She wanted to check it out. I've been there before.
It has a lot. It's not just pinball. It has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they have arcades right there.
Next time you go, you should check out. What's it called? Is that? There's a pizza place on the east side of town. I think it's actually in Winona. It's kind of like just across the river from the cafe. So it's like this Italian. It's like a pizza place, but it has full-on arcades. Like every table is surrounded by, I don't remember the name of it, but it's full-on. Just put the quarter in. Oh, yeah? Really?
Good for quick and dirty, yeah. Oh, no. But I'm too dumb to know anymore. Top 10 guys are like way better. My goal is just to break the top 50.
Huh.
What's that? I go to the top 100, which took me a while.
All right. Know about you every time, man. Every day.
All right, good afternoon, Murph. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks. Wouldn't miss it.
I think it's the first time I've heard that. All right, we'll open the floor for some questions for Murph. We'll start second row on the right.
Hey Murph, you just saw Mania, 5 days ago?
Yes.
I was wondering what you liked about your guys at bats against him in that game, and then also how beneficial it is for you guys to have seen him just so recently.
I think it's, same with them seeing Frankie. I think it is beneficial to the offensive player that you've seen the pitcher. Mania and Frankie both have had a good year. Mania's been exceptional at times, and we wanted to get a good look at him last time, and we kind of made sure that our lefties got better look at him just in case we saw him again.
Third row to the left.
Murph, today's a similar situation to the spot you were in last year, down 1-0 at home. How do you let that thought, or keep that thought from creeping in to these guys' minds of what happened last year and the playoff disappointments of years past?
Yeah, I wish I could control their minds. You know what I mean? We would have covered first yesterday. We've been a shock collar. I could have my little. That's a taser, I guess. We could have done the taser yesterday. Well, I think the important thing is last year was last year. 2 years before that's 2 years before that. People keep talking about this postseason thing where the Brewers have lost X number of games in these years and all that kind of stuff. Well, first of all, for a team with our budget and what we've been through this year to get to where we are, let's just take that for what it is. It's not a given. You know what I mean? It's not like a given we're going to be in the postseason every year. And I'm sure last year there was the story there too. But the point is, last year, when you're the 3 seed, you're always going to play a team that's hot, that's excited to be in. You know what I mean? And every postseason team we've been eliminated by has went to the World Series. So we've got kind of a, when you think of the deal we've gotten, it's been a team that's been red hot, Hopefully we turn that around and play. So I don't think it's controlling their minds or things like that. I think you just have to be ready to play today.
Second row toward the center.
Murph, a core component of this team's offensive identity this year has been making really sound swing decisions. There was a lot more chase from your group last night, especially from the fifth inning onward, chasing pitches out of the strike zone. Do you think there needs to be an adjustment tonight or just a response to get back to that good plate discipline?
Well, that's it. I mean, that's the word, response. Because once that emotional inning happened, we had 3 plays that could have been made. One would have been a great play, but the ball to left field's catchable, not covering first is inexcusable. But when that emotion happens and you're kind of looking around like, God, things are just going bad, that's really emotional. So then there's that natural, I want to get it done. And if you look at even the other side yesterday, after that inning happened, there was only 1 base runner in the game, both teams, and it was by walk. There was not another hit in the game. So I think the air and the emotion of the whole game was affected by that.
The second row to the
Yes,
right.
we need to respond with better swing decisions.
Didn't really get into a slump all year. You haven't lost 4 straight all season. You're in a position where you have to bounce back again today. What is it about the personality of this team that's enabled y'all to kind of respond to adversity as well as you have over the course of the year?
I think it's a combination of the young energy and the leadership guys have pulled it together. You know what I mean? The leadership guys have not listened to the outside stuff and just said, hey, guys, we can do this. You know, nobody expected you to be in first place. Nobody expected you to run the table. Nobody expected you to win the division by 10 games. We can do this. We stick to what we do, and the young guys have just listened and emerged.
Fourth row to the left.
Pat, that said, what's the mood like in the locker room right now? Because Jax was just in here saying it's really exciting.
Yeah, I think they're trying to give you the right answers too, you know what I mean? They come in here and you're looking for the truth and you're looking for like to write a story and whatever, and they're trying to give you good answers. You know, I think any team that goes through yesterday in that 1 inning, kind of some things just kind of happened. It wasn't just, you give the Mets credit for putting the ball in play and whatever, but there was some balls hit not at people. There was some, plays not made. That's a big thing, you know what I mean? And we also had some early opportunities that didn't go, that we didn't execute on, and could have been 5, 6, 7 runs on the board. So I think it jars you a little bit, especially when you're facing what we're facing. So I think it's natural to be that way, but I think once the game starts, that's where they're all more comfortable. I mean, as great as you guys are, they're not as comfortable or know how to express themselves necessarily, completely in front of you guys. But when the game starts, I think they'll be settled down and ready to compete.
Third row to the right, Tyler.
Murph, you mentioned that, that number 3 seed, which you were last year and this year, always is kind of going to face a hot team that just made it in. Do you think that's fair?
That word, fair, I know this. I've been in Major League Baseball 10 years now, 10th season. They never try to do anything that isn't fair. You know what I mean? They never try to. You may get the bad end of something, or a small market team might get, a perceived bad end, whatever it may be. I know I trust MLB does the right thing, and this is the best playoff format they think for the game, and I just go with it. I don't sit there trying to pontificate, I got my hands full, you know what I mean? And so do I think it's fair? Yes. Generally speaking, is there a better way when you're the 3 seed and you're feeling it from this angle every time? I haven't thought through it, I'm just thankful for the opportunity, and it's about going out and beating the other team. Bottom line, go out and beat the other team. No matter how hot they are, how experienced, how big their budget is, we all got excuses. Today is about going out and winning the round, and then tomorrow, win the round. And then whatever whatever they tell us to do after that, go do that. It's not about, this shouldn't be, I don't like to get into that.
We're going to go to the fifth row toward the center.
I don't know, Pat, in some ways you kind of brought Frankie here for this. Postseason starts in that instance. What did you like about what he did against the Mets in his last start, and then the opportunity kind of he has tonight here in Game 2?
Yeah, I think Frankie's been a great addition for us. You think about it. I mean, we lost 4 of our 5 starters to start the season, right? And then the guys that we signed to replace them were injured, Junis and Ross. So we were going with guys that hadn't been a major league starter, had never been in the big leagues. We were piecemealing it together all the way through. And then at the trade deadline, we get Savali and Montas, and they both have given us a great lift. They both were great fits. They both had 5 ERAs. They weren't having terrific seasons, but they both settled in here and have done a great job. And I think Frankie is experienced. He's a warrior. He's a competitor. What he did last time against the Mets, he gave them a little taste of what he's about. But they did fairly well against him. But I think Frankie he'll rise to the occasion. I believe in that.
First row, all the way to the right.
Murph, last night you're obviously playing from behind, so that's part of it. But to not have any stolen bases last night and just the 2 walks, is Manaea someone that you feel like you guys can be more aggressive with and push that part of the running game tonight?
He saw us. Left-handers are harder, but he saw us steal bases against him last time. He saw us bunt. He saw us put the ball on the ground. Yesterday, we didn't steal any bases, but we base ran very well. We took the extra base. So that's in our bag. The threat of the steal can be as big as the steal sometimes. So playing the game like this, again, I use football as an example. I got a little football background. So, it's like the threat of the long pass changes how you play defense. The threat of the screen in long yardage situations changes the way you rush the passer. So the same thing goes. I mean, the threat of what we do can be menacing.
We'll go Adam, second row on the right.
Murph, I have 2 if you'll allow it. The first one's quick. Would it be Myers?
I'll let you know after the first one.
Would it be Myers in Game 3 if you don't need him tonight?
Yes.
And then, in postseason,
I didn't approve the third one.
Do you approve the second?
I do.
The
Not
word
the third one.
The word randomness gets used a lot in talking about MLB's postseason. I'm wondering if you agree with that as a concept that you deal with.
Explain that. I've never heard it because I'm going to shock you with this, but you know what I'm about to say.
You don't listen to what we say.
I don't read anything. I have no idea. I got a couple texts this morning saying a couple things, but I laughed and said, great.
I guess my question is, after spending so much time and energy on a long season, then you get into this short burst where everything turns on one missed ball in the outfield, one missed cover at first. How do you and your guys just change the mindset so quickly at this time of year?
Yeah. It's analytics took over the game how many years ago? You guys would know this, right? It became a huge part of the game how many years ago? Well, like the need for mental health and the need for strong psychological approach, a mentality is alive and well in the game because it's what it takes. It takes that mental toughness. It's tough. If you think I slept comfortably last night or you think I didn't, write for hours on, I can go down a path with you, all the things that come into your mind about changing that, doing it. This is a better way. But it really comes down to mentality. It comes down to, can we wash it off? Can we respond? We just got knocked on our butts, took the standing 8 count. Can we stand up now and respond? And if we can't respond, that's part of postseason baseball. This is why you win the regular season, to put yourself in position to play in the postseason. It's about advancing in the postseason. We can pat ourselves on the back for all the things I told you, lost starters, cut the budget, traded Corbin, injured closer, no Yelich. I can give you all the excuses in the world, but it won't be a great season in my mind unless we can respond today in the right way. Will it be a lost season? Will it not be a great achievement of what we did to overachieve with all the adversity we faced? Yep, there'll be a way to look at this and say, wow, that's great. But unless we respond today, we're gonna have a sour taste.
All right, we'll just take a couple more. Last row, all the way to the right.
Coach, what was your message to your team yesterday and going on to today?
Just respond. That's what it is, respond.
All right, we'll do fourth row on the right.
Hey, Murph. I want to ask about Tyrone Taylor. I realized Chourio was coming and you guys have a deep outfield here, but was it tough to let him go, and just what kind of player was he for you?
Well, being around Tyrone, period, it's tough to let him go. I mean, he's a tremendous human, tremendous teammate, and tremendous player. Underrated player, defender. At the end of last season, there was nobody hotter on our team. There's nobody we wanted at the plate on our team. Check the numbers or the hard contacts. This guy was tremendous, so it's hard to let him go for sure. And we're not surprised about the success he's having and the way he's contributing, because he's a great teammate and an even better person.
One final question for Murph. All set? All right, thanks for your time.
You got it.
All right, next up in the room, 250, Carlos Mendoza, Francisco